Welcome to Storm and Chocolate. I'm Storm and Norman. Today's song is number 73, Pink and Velvet, the closing track of Berlin's Count Three and Pray. In many ways, Berlin's fourth studio release, Count Three and Pray, became their swan song album. I did not learn of this for decades after the fact, even though I bought the CD in the late 80s and played the hell out of it, front to back. That said, it divided the band because of the inclusion of their biggest hit, Take My Breath Away, the seminal track from the motion picture Top Gun. If I may borrow Sterling Archer's catchline, it pushed them into the danger zone, since Terry Nunn looked on it favorably as opening up their fan base, while other band members disliked it as not being homegrown. It was written by Giorgio Moroder and Tom Whitlock and produced by Moroder. Tom Whitlock also wrote the lyrics for the aforementioned Kenny Loggins song, Danger Zone, also from the movie. Moroder had also produced a pair of hits from Berlin's previous album, but the band had moved on to working with Bob Ezrin for Count Three and Pray. As I said above, I played the hell out of this album. Overall, its sound is like hard synth pop, not rock and roll, but keyboard-based synth pop with great dynamics and a strong guitar presence. The lyrics and vocals are exceptional, led by Terry Nunn's extensive range, and those vocals are what attracted me to the band, initially through the songs No More Words and Dancing in Berlin from their third album, and The Metro from their second. Half of Count Three's songs will be in this playlist, but we'll start with my favorite Berlin song, the last track on the album, Pink and Velvet. This is one of those heart-wrenching songs where, if you're in the right mood or in the wrong mood, you could find yourself tearing up. It is a perfect album closer and the perfect way to end a career. The song has an A-B structure of verses and choruses, but neither are straightforward. All three verses are slightly different, but are recognizable as the verses. The first chorus is the simplest, while the latter two are expanded, with the last leading to an extended guitar solo. In tone, it's all very melancholic. For the subject matter, it might be what you'd hear from two band members who've been together for a while and are codependent through sex and drugs and rock and roll. But they're near a breaking point, where he's looking for a loving touch, but not necessarily hers, and she's offering to play the vixen, to wear pink and velvet to keep him close. The first verse pretty much explains this premise.
No more lines tonight, so you want just a loving touch.
The first lyric, No More Lines Tonight, may be a double entendre of either verbal bantering or coke lines. This was, after all, the 80s when coke was invented. She offers to hold him, but knows that he's aching to get away, but expresses her need for him in the strongest way she knows how.
Lost the only love I knew. Here
The second verse works to tie them together, but at the same time betrays the assumption that they are together. Or perhaps she lost a love and someone he cared about passed away, so they were driven together and they were able to talk it out. And she's looking to him to be her bulwark, her big man, her shining knight upon whom she can depend.
No more lines tonight, so I will use my loving touch. I give nothing for free, doesn't hurt so much. The needle was a life I hope I trust, turning into dust. I've read a night, pink and paradise for you. I've read a night, pink and paradise.
Similar to the first verse, the last verse starts similar but turns around the second lyric where she acknowledges she will satisfy his need for a loving touch, but warns that it won't be altruistic. Is he bothered by this? We don't know. But we get another peek into drug use with the casual mention of a needle and their dependence upon its effects and how it has tied them together in the past. But with death all around them, most likely losing friends to the damage the needle invokes, she comes to the realization that they need to come clean and become each other's support group. Terry's vocals are superb and heart-wrenching. She seems to realize that they can't stay together if they can't provide those loving touches. They will both end up lost. A house divided cannot stand, to misuse an Abraham Lincoln quote from 1858, half a decade before the American Civil War, and originally from the New Testament. That was a deep cut. We'll go deeper into Berlin's past when we cover The Metro from their second album, 1982's Pleasure Victim. This album also featured their breakout hit, Sex, I'm a ... which by its nature of having sex in the title, got it a lot of airplay, especially on MTV. Their first album, 1980's Information, does not appear to have made any kind of splash, and lead singer Terry Nunn was off pursuing an acting career. Speaking of which, I hear she auditioned for the role of Princess Leia. Anyway, there was a lot of turnover before their second album, and bass player and keyboardist John Crawford took over the reins as the major songwriter, a role he would keep through today's album. Pleasure Victim spawned 4 singles and cemented the band's road to stardom. A year and a half later, their third album, Love Life, was released. It also had 4 singles, including the 2 produced by Giorgio Moroder, as mentioned before, plus Now It's My Turn and Touch. Conversely, Count Three and Pray, released 2.5 years later in October 1984, only had 3 singles, probably because the lead single, Take My Breath Away, was so strong that it drove album sales without the expense of releasing another single. Only Breath cracked the top 20 in the US, going all the way to the top. Pleasure Victim hit number 30 in the US and was certified platinum. Love Life hit number 23 and was certified gold, but Count Three never made it to the top 60 and is only certified silver in the UK, which I think is a travesty, as the album is the strongest of the 4, in my opinion. The band disbanded after this album. John Crawford and drummer Rob Brill started an alternative hard rock band, and Terry Nunn acquired the legal rights to the Berlin moniker and released more albums starting in 2002. But that was a different life. Eventually, Crawford and the other former members reunited with Nunn to create new music in the 20-teens. But by then, I had moved on. Well, that's it for Berlin's Pink and Velvet from their 1986 album, Count Three and Pray. This also ends this group of 19 songs, lovingly referred to as the Fourth 19, and we'll be starting a new group of 24 to take us to the prime number of 97. We did pass the milestone of 100 subscribers during this period, and if you appreciate these deep dives of bands and songs, we would love to have you as subscribers and ask that you like and subscribe and pass the word on. In addition to the album cut, the description contains a link to a 1987 live performance. Now you know I love this song, and you know in the right conditions I will get emotional about it. Watching Terry live gave me goosebumps, something terrible, but I'm not going to admit to any tears. Or many tears. Next time we'll cover our second Elton John song, Where To Now St. Peter, as one of our deeper cuts whose lyrics I have only recently learned and have an intriguing interpretation thereof. And I hope Bernie Taupin will comment on how close I got to the mark. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. With the last leading to an all three verses. What are you waiting for?
I forgot. Just go.
Turning into dust. It's giving me goosebumps just singing about it. Take My Breath Away was so strong that it drove album sales without. Eventually, Crawford and the other members came. Come on. The band disbanded after this album. Also ends this group of 19 songs, lovingly referred to as.
No.
In addition to the album cut, the description
Wait, I
contains.
shouldn't be here for this.